Welcome to another BOMA Idaho Thursday conversation. Me, Christian Heiner, Jana, Steve with Total System Services, Priscilla with AAA Roofing, and Jeremy with HC Company. How's everybody?
Awesome.
Great, thank you.
Right on. So since a few of you guys have never done this before, haven't been on before, let's have you guys take just a few minutes, however long you want to, just kind of introduce yourself, talk about your company for a sec, and kind of what your involvement with BOMA Idaho is. Priscilla, why don't you go first?
Hello, everyone. I'm Priscilla. I'm with AAA Roofing. We have our branch office in Meridian, Idaho, and we're servicing most of the nearby counties, and we're excited to be a part of BOMA this year to help sponsor all the cool events we're going to do together.
So many cool events. We have so much pent-up energy to do cool events from last year that you don't even know.
It's very true. And you know what? Priscilla called me on the phone. She's like, okay, I've got my budget in front of me. I got my credit card in my hand. What do we want to do this year? I was like, oh my gosh.
Let's
You
have
know what you're saying right now. I've got so much stuff. So we are going to be seeing a lot of them, and I'm totally excited about that.
Awesome. Jeremy, how are you, man?
Doing great. So yeah, Jeremy with HC Company, commercial general contractor in the area, and we're actually licensed in all the surrounding states. So excited about the opportunities that we see out there in the future right now. And we have been BOMA members for quite a few years. This was planned to be the most involved year I would have.
How'd that go?
Yeah, things have been a little bit different than I thought they would be this year. But yeah, looking forward to being a part of this and seeing where else we can help out.
Totally. Steve, how's everything in your world, man?
It's good, thanks. I'm Steve Miller with Total System Services, members of BOMA Idaho, obviously, and our corporate office is here in Boise. We've got branch offices in Portland and 2 in Seattle and 1 in Pocatello. And we try to stay pretty active with BOMA. We too are optimistic about what the future's got in store. Like we were talking a little bit before we started recording, we learned how to do it a little bit better when it gets harder. So I'm hoping that if we get tested again, we can rise to those challenges. And if it does go back to being a little bit easier, we're just that much better at what we do.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way, we provide heating and cooling services commercially for the government, for residential in certain markets, and just look forward to a better year.
Absolutely. What is your role specifically at TSS?
Hold on real quick. I have to give a little shout out to Total System Services because you talk about being a member of BOMA and being in a business organization, but also in the community, right? We're all in these different parts of the community. And with how small Boise still is in the surrounding area, we run into each other. And I run into Mike Lukes from TSS all the time on the baseball field.
Oh, funny.
So my boys and his grandbabies play against each other a lot. Like we see each other in different ways. And he sponsors the Southwest Data Little League, and he's out there cheering on his grandkids. But it's so fun when you're in BOMA and you see people and then you happen to run into them and see their community involvement in other areas. So I just wanted to say that was awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, in TSS, you guys have been such an awesome sponsor of BOMA for a long time. And I mean, you guys have been members as long as I can remember, so probably more than a decade at least. And with what you guys do for the golf tournament is so cool.
Oh, thank you. We enjoy the events. They put on some great events. We like being part of that. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do as much last year as we normally do, but with any luck this year, we will.
Yeah. Everything's sort of pointing towards, probably. So I feel good about probably.
Probably. I really
too.
That.
I feel okay about that.
I saw a commercial today. It was on social media. I'm not sure. It was for some sort of seltzer, and they're kicking off at the Super Bowl a new lemon seltzer. And it talked about last year being a lemon year. I thought it was brilliant, and it's, you know, you guys have to look it up. I don't even know what it is. Just put seltzer lemon in there, and you'll see this commercial where there's these lemons like pelting people, knocking them off their bikes and knocking them. I mean, it's hilarious, and it's a really like you. But you look at that, and think, yeah,
Clever.
that actually happened last year. We were headed for this great thing, and all of a sudden, bam, we weren't doing it. So we'll just chalk it up to that being a lemon year. How about it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Brilliant,
Absolutely. So, yeah. So obviously we are here today, you know, kind of talking about the symposium and all the stuff coming up for that. Yesterday we spent the majority of the day pre-recording, starting with kind of the producing part of all the symposium content, because we're obviously not doing a live event this year. How do you feel about that, Jan? How do you think we did okay?
Oh my gosh, I told Christian earlier, we had a bit of a phone conversation before this, and I said, I am so relieved. I'm so happy. I feel like a new woman today. I feel like I usually do the day after symposium when it goes really well. Only it's different because we're focusing on, we have twofold, which we always do. We focus really heavily on the networking portion of it most years. And this year, we just couldn't really. We have a small networking opportunity that we're going to talk about, but the information and digging really deep down and finding additional content to provide for our attendees. Yesterday was so phenomenal. Usually when we're in session downtown at the Boise Center, the event's going, I'm off somewhere. And I'm off, you know, taking care of the next thing, or working making sure that we stay on time for the event. You know, just sort of have my hands in a million different ways, and different directions. But I got to sit and listen yesterday to these panelists talking about our market and where we're going. And I truly am just, I feel blessed to be part of that, to have sat in that room with all those people, that everybody was there, everybody was healthy, all the protocols that we followed to make sure that could happen yesterday, and to be able then to turn around and do some post-production, add some more information and some more layers to that we can then put, on for people. So I'm totally excited about it. And now that that's kind of behind us and in production, we can really focus on the kickoff event and the live portion of this, and making it fun. So that's why we wanted to get with you guys today. I'm so happy, so happy to talk with the three of you, in the different times that we talked in the last month, and to get the phone conversations and the emails back and forth, and just the support that came out of it. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Can we just run with that, Christian?
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it. So first of all, Priscilla, you came and we started talking about this event first, and then that led to other things. But you guys jumped in first with both feet. You were like, hey, yeah, we want to do this kickoff event. What made you want to be part of that?
Really, again, it just comes down to building those relationships with, we're really big on BOMA for, all the offices that we have in the Western states. We have a part of at least minimum 2 BOMA chapters per office. So we were really, really excited about BOMA Idaho, and the relationships that we can build with just BOMA in general and everybody else in the community, and becoming just more involved with all of that. So.
Well, this is a good place to start. This event draws a lot of those commercial real estate professionals from all walks of the industry. So we'll be able to introduce you to a lot of those people. And I envision for this event, like a tent row, hopefully won't be like yesterday and today, super windy. This week would not be a good week to be outside with a tent. But we're going to have tent row, at least that's our hope, and we'll have tables out. We've invited everybody who comes down to volunteer or to be part of it to bring their commercial vehicles that are marked, so that, we can fill the parking lots where we're going to be with those commercial vehicles, and really have a presence of all of those supporters for this event. So Priscilla, thank you for that. And so then, next down the road, I was hanging out one day and working so hard on trying to get this event put together, and I get this email from Jeremy, just popped up, and it said, hey, can we sponsor the kickoff event? And I was like, oh, yes, yes. And so we connected. Yeah. We connected over email that way. And I remember getting off it was either a phone call or an email with you. And I think I called my mom and then I called Christian. I was like, you're never going to believe it. We have another sponsor for this event. We can really do this. Like, it was just because we haven't seen everybody for a whole year, and putting something together like this, you hope it's something people want to participate in. So Jeremy, talk about what made you hit send on that email and want to be part of it.
Sure. Yeah. No, we've appreciated everything that BOMA has done for us in the past and for the community. And we find it to be one of our responsibilities to help make sure things like this can happen. So we wanted to jump in and help where we could and make sure that we continue to develop additional relationships by being a part of this. So.
Awesome. Oh, we're so happy to have you guys. And just the ideas that have come forward in this event. So again, I was kind of thinking through some of these things. We had the website up and going and everything, and then I get this call from Steve. We were talking, and Steve, you jumped in last year. We were kind of late in the process with you guys, and you were like, we need to be part of this somewhere. And so we were trying to kind of figure out what we wanted to do for the kickoff event last year, and you guys did part of it last year. And it was so fun. We had over 100 people there at Boise Center. You know, think of this, hors d'oeuvres and food was flowing, drinks, the bar was open. We were all socializing and everything. And then you flip to this year and it's like, okay, what can we do? And so I loved your question that you said to me. You said, hey, tell me about the kickoff event and what it's going to look like. So as I start explaining it, then you came up with an idea.
Right. Well, first, kudos to you guys for sticking with it and having a can-do attitude, because it is a lot more challenging than what we're used to. Last year, we did want to be part of that kickoff event. The social hour aspect was really pretty fun and a good idea, good way to get out. And BOMA, like Jeremy said, BOMA is important to us, and one of our more significant industry partners really in this market, we feel, and we want to do what we can. And we want to be even more involved than we are. And so after talking to you, just some of the challenges I could see were temperatures and things. And so that's where we kind of came up with an idea to bring some heat. And we're going to set up some portable heaters and try to make it at least as comfortable as we can, not knowing what the conditions will really be like. So, and
it'll either be 12 degrees or 55 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We might be turning the heaters off. We might be
Totally.
pressing the social distancing guidelines huddled around them. I don't know, but we're going to be there with them, and we're going to see this thing through.
Awesome. Well, I just thought that was such a great idea. I don't know if you guys have been on our site lately for that, but they literally on the site, it says they're bringing the heat to the event. So that was just such a fun idea, and just one of the creative ways that we've been able to work this through, starting in November when we had the reception online with people, and someone said, we're not going to let this pandemic take our symposium. We've got to do as many parts of this as we can. We need to come together as members. And I was so happy about that. And that attitude has just carried throughout with all of our members, just receiving phone calls and support and ideas on what we can do. So that was just a really fun thing that came together that we didn't expect to have happen. And obviously we'll make the outdoor portion of this event more manageable and more amiable for people to want to come and hang out with us for a few minutes. They can walk up or drive up to this event and come get their symposium swag. And I want to talk about that, but I do want to say that because you guys came in and had a creative idea, that then caused me to go to Blueprint Specialties, who is usually down at the Boise Center with all that cool signage, like on the elevators, and really cool. They have done some cool things over the years for our trade show, and they had that cityscape one year in front of the podium. They've done some really cool things. And this year they were going to do our boxes for us because we want to do swag boxes, and we're still trying to pull that together, but their equipment was delayed because of the shipping delays and production delays that we're all so used to. You can't just get what you want when you want it. And so I was talking to Will about that, and I was like, okay, so we're going to shift gears and do something else with the boxes, but what can we do with you guys? And so we came up with, because of TSS's idea about bringing the heat to the event, of putting together like a warming station and we went out and bought hundreds of hand warmers And we're going to have hot chocolate, coffee there. We're going to have a tent. Blueprint Specialties is putting together some signage for that. And we'll have the heaters from these guys. So it's really coming together more like an outdoor trade show look, where people can come like a tailgate, where people are going to, I hope, where people are going to have their fun, their company vehicles and just bring some fun things to hand out. And those swag bags, I don't know, boxes, whatever we end up with now. Christian, I don't know if you saw it yesterday when we were down at the Boise Center, that big flatbed thing.
Yeah, there was a huge pile of stuff. Yeah, there was a bunch of stuff.
We opened it up for people to bring stuff to put in the swag boxes. And since we were going to be at the Boise Center, we just told people to drop stuff off. And I was like, okay, well, I have this little reusable bag. We'll just put stuff in here. People bring it.
I was wondering about that. Did you make 2 trips to get all that stuff, or how did you do that?
I walked out in the hall and the boxes were piled.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, it was unbelievable, this huge flatbed thing. So we actually had to leave it all there. And we're going to take a truck down to pick all of it up so we can pack our swag bags. So fun, you guys. That's
a good problem to have.
Yes. And just seeing people come and go. Tony Sutton came by. She's a brand new member from, I want to say, I don't even know the name of her company. It's Fiber. I think it's TDS Fiber.
Yeah.
I'll have to make sure I get it right. But she came by and she was, dressed to the nines. And she's like, oh my gosh, I was so excited just to come and meet with somebody. She was all dressed. She looked so great and was so excited to bring some of her items to come and put in those boxes for everybody. So just, those connections, and that is the hope with this kickoff event, you guys, that you guys have so put together so well. We are just excited to be part of that and to see you and to have everyone down there and visible. We want to talk about the locations really quick. We have 2 locations for people on February 17th, so the day before the event online. We will be between 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. We will be at Idaho AGC downtown, and we will be at BVA Development on 10 Mile. So at 10 Mile Crossing. So we have a Meridian location, a Boise location, where people can drive up, walk up, and grab their swag, visit if they want to, grab some hand warmers and coffee, stand under the TSS heaters, take a look at all the company trucks that are going to be there or whatever, and visit with those people that are volunteering. So we're excited about that.
Absolutely.
Sounds awesome.
As are we.
Well, Jen, and I think you make a really, really good point about, getting creative with stuff. Even in years past when things were normal, there's always room to get creative and come with ideas. And hey, what if we sponsored this new thing that you guys don't even have yet? Like, that's always kind of been one of the cool things about BOMA and being able to kind of do what we do is be fluid and come up with new cool ideas. So, for these events, or how we can promote these events, like leading up to this, if you guys have other ideas on how to make this thing cool, let's absolutely do that. I mean, this is our thing. We can make it whatever we want.
Yeah. Exactly. I love that. I had a conversation today with Julie over at Fidelity Title, and I've been working with them. And she asked me, she's like, well, we're a ticket sponsor. What does that mean? What is a ticket sponsor? And honestly, it was just something we had to come up with this year, and we wanted to come up with this year so that we could offer the event for free online to everybody, which I'm so excited about that, because the number of people that I've seen register, even from like HC company, I saw people come in that have not attended the event, or I hadn't personally registered at the event before. Or there's a lot actually that I can name. CoStar, some of their corporate people are registering. Harris CPAs, their whole office I think registered one day. So I just kept getting email after email after email of people who, they might purchase a table of 10 and then 10 people would be there. But
only those 10 people.
Only those 10. So this just allows them to say, okay, we're going to share this on social media. We're going to share this with our sister company in Eastern Idaho. We're going to share this with our, like AAA Roofing. We're going to share this with our offices all over the region, right? And to allow people to see what's going on in Idaho.
And that's the beauty of doing it online, how we are, because all of us, my company, Staffcock Group, we work all over the country. You guys work all over the place. I know HC Company, you guys build stuff all over the West. And so we've invited all the other BOMA locals from the entire Northwest West region to see this. And in years past, this event would only live for these 4 hours, and then it'd be gone and no one would ever see it. Now it's going to live on the BOMA Idaho YouTube and on our website. And so for those of us who do business outside of Boise, it's a better marketing tool now than it was last year, I think.
Well, even doing things like this, right? I mean, we haven't had face-to-face conversations with a sponsor team like this ever.
Yeah.
This is a first time. And Christian, how are our other videos from the past few weeks doing on social media?
Well, so
put me on the spot.
That's okay. I had it open. I browsed away, but so the last two that we've done, the one that we did last week that was you and I and Tanner
from ESI.
Yep, just on LinkedIn, it has almost 600 views. And the one that we did before, the one that was you and Kelly and I, it has almost 1,600 views. So people see it. People notice this stuff apparently.
Are those directly on the website or just on how do we get to those?
So you can get to those if you go to the BOMA Idaho website, bomaidaho.org. Go to where it says news up in the top navigation.
Mm-hmm.
And then they live right there as blog posts. And as you scroll down, this video, it's hosted on YouTube. I just put these on YouTube, and it's embedded in the website. And so you can click and watch the video right there on the BOMA Idaho website.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And share those, they can share those with their companies. And so that's obviously the hope, is to just add another layer of benefit for our sponsors and supporters of this event.
Absolutely. And we're all, in, kind of marketing roles for our firms. And we know that the more people that see our faces, that see our logos, the better. And that's what we're trying to do with this, is just make all of us more visible.
Absolutely. Okay, let me look at our little rundown here and see if there's anything else that we wanted to talk about. I did want to just hit on again just the creativity that people have come up with in putting this kickoff event together. Really a way just to come together and celebrate the organization. And it's like we have 160 plus companies that belong to BOMA. So that's over 500 individuals, off and on, different representatives sometimes, sometimes Jeremy would come to something, sometimes we'd see Erica who would come instead, or, things like that. There's interchangeable members, but I'm talking companies, 160 plus. I'd have to go look, but then our mailing list is much bigger than that. So the influence that you guys have, even though there's competitors, right? Your competitors are members too, and they have parts in this event, right? So, but it's a platform for everybody to come together for the greater good of the industry. Something to put together where not only can you form those relationships, get those jobs, meet those potential clients for yourselves, but also just to strengthen the numbers in our industry, right? Share information, be able to communicate with each other and figure out, where we came from in the past year, what it did to all of us. And what we see now and where we're going. And one comment I want to just share and get your reaction on is during the developer panel that we had, where they were talking about the economic impacts of COVID on our market and what it looks like in moving forward in 2021 and beyond. There was a comment that was made that they said, don't believe what you see on the news, because those coastal cities and what they're showing in their downtowns is not here. That is, we had a couple of them on that panel say we had our best year last year as far as the number of projects we were doing. We're able to keep our people working, and the future looks even brighter. Would you guys, let's start with Jeremy. Would you guys echo that comment? How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, I would definitely echo that. We still had a pretty good year based on the issues we were facing there, and we grew as a company. We brought in some new people. Taylor, who's with me right now, being one of those, and we're super excited to have her here. And our future outlook, we see growth for our company. And as far as what's happened in the last year, like Steve was saying earlier, it only made us stronger, because now it probably exponentially forced us to do some things differently. And our ability to serve our clients is even better than it was in the past now.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Steve, what about you guys? Do you agree with that things are good?
I do. Yeah, I echo that almost exactly. It seems like we had a lot of opportunity to look inward and look at areas that we can improve, how we can deliver better product, how we can overcome some of the challenges that everybody encountered, and some that were unique to our industry. But yeah, I mean that's just kind of one of our main takeaways is we got better at what we do. We got better at doing it when it was harder to do, and which ultimately leads to us providing a better service, I believe. And I also agree with what Jeremy said about our future outlooks. You know, it did teach us to be maybe better prepared for things that we don't think will happen or haven't experienced personally. So I think we're stronger there. We've got, I feel like, another leg under our stool in that regard to keep us a little more stable, and our growth opportunity looks good, barring more challenges than what we could predict. We think we held our own. We're very happy about where we stayed last year, but we too anticipate growth this year.
Good. Okay, Priscilla, I'm going to change it up for you just a little bit and say you guys have been in this market for almost 3 years. So that's an interesting thing, because you guys just got going basically, and then all of a sudden it was pandemic. But you guys have offices in all different cities, not just here in Meridian. So how I'll ask you, how is this office compared to other places where you guys are, and what do you see for the future of AAA here?
I definitely think that, our most successful branch was the Idaho, the Meridian location that we have. And I feel like, again, it comes down to the community that we have there and the opportunities. The city is obviously booming and growing, and we had success in our other branches as well, but Idaho for sure exceeded what we projected it was going to be. So we even brought on more people to the sales team because we were actually meeting more than the expected growth that we were expected. So it's been very exciting for the Idaho branch to just be, expanding and growing. And we're really excited for that to continue.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I love that. I know that sometimes when we talk about growth, it's like a really uncomfortable subject and we don't want to talk about it because we're just like, anyway, we want to hide, Boise, we want to hide Idaho and just say, let's just keep things the way they are. But inevitably people see us and they see this as an opportunity of somewhere to live that has great quality. I mean, Christian, you were just in the foothills today, right? Up there.
Yeah, up there. Yeah, dude, building a big monster house up in the foothills. And for us, we do a lot of commercial work and a lot of residential work, neither of which really slowed down for us this year. Residential, actually, we probably did more residential projects this year than we did because everybody was home thinking about, oh God, my landscaping sucks. I should do something about this. And so they were calling us, and we designed more cool outdoor rooms and outdoor offices and really cool, really highly programmed residential outdoor spaces this year than I think we ever had in a year. So yeah, we shifted a little bit, but not a ton, but it's been good.
I don't know if people would have thought to do that before. I don't know if people would have thought about an opportunity for an outdoor office. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like who would have thought about that unless you're sitting there for 8 or 9 months on end. Mm-hmm. Looking at and I did, but I did nothing about it. That's the difference. I had Christian over. We have the plans, right? Mm-hmm. I changed my mind, so we haven't actually moved any good. But you know what? It is something that did change. I think our own personal landscapes, and what we look at every day. And I think that that's awesome. I was talking to someone today and I could hear a little one in the background and it was like nothing. And I just made a note of it. I was like, you know what? I was in the car driving my kiddo somewhere and she was working from home, and it's just a different time right now, right? You're used to hearing that or seeing kids in the background on something. It's
I'm more compassion for it now.
yes.
Totally.
And more tolerance, more compassion, more flexibility. And that's exactly what this whole event is going to be about. So I am really happy to present all of this information, have a platform to present it on that is united with all of these BOMA members, have a kickoff event that is going to be fantastic. Rain or shine, snow or shine, wind or no wind.
Yeah.
We will be out there doing it, and we're so happy that you guys will be part of it.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Happy to be part of it.
Okay, well that's a good spot to end, Jana. Thank you. So to stay tuned for next week. We'll be back next week. So thanks everybody.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.